In prison, you run into all type of people. And when I say all type of people, I literally mean all type of people. And sometimes you run into people that's from your city. Sometimes you might run into people from your neighborhood. Sometimes you might run into the person that you was cheating with spouse. This is what this story about. But before we get into this story, I need for y'all to do your big partner Donta a favor. Number one, hit the like button if you haven't already. Share this video and leave a comment in the comment section of where you from. So that way I can see where my audience is coming from. Nevertheless, let's get to the story. So I had this cellmate by the name of Terrell. Terrell was one of the type of guys that was real athletic, and all he liked to do was play basketball. Y'all know the type that since they was 2 years old, they had a basketball in their hand, and that's all he talked about. He always talked about, oh, LeBron ain't better than MJ. MJ is the GOAT. His top three is MJ, LeBron, and Wilt Chamberlain, right? Side note, y'all. Side note. Who do y'all think is better, LeBron or Mike? Me, I'm gonna reserve my judgment till later. I'll let y'all know how I feel. But who better, Mike or LeBron? So anyway, so that's all. That's him. That's all he do. All he do is talk about sports, NBA particularly, right? So one day, I asked him, because it's not polite to ask somebody what they in there for, right? Unless you in there with them and y'all done spent some months together or whatever, or you just get the vibe that you could just ask them, like, just straight up, right? So one day we kicking it. I said, man, what you do to get in here, man? You supposed to be in the NBA or somewhere, man. Like, what you get in here for, man? He was like, well, I ended up killing my wife. I said, what? He said, yeah, I killed my wife. So I just sat there for a minute, and he was like, you ain't gonna ask why? I said, well, I guess, yeah, what happened? So he said that basically he met his wife in college and they was cool. Everything was everything. And he said that when he approached her, she told him like she was in an abusive relationship and she was just trying to get out of it or whatever. So he basically rolled up on the guy and told him like, hey, she with me now, and if you want to have an issue, we have an issue. But turns out that, her abusive boyfriend was not built like that. He was like a punk. He'd bark on a woman, put hands on a woman, but if a man confront him, he gon' try to cop a plea, and he cop pleas, and he wasn't even gonna try to fight for her. And, he said, he told him like, don't call her no more. You better not write her no letter. You better just, when you see her coming, you better go the other way. And that's just what it was. Dude complied, right? So he said ever since then, she looked at him like her knight in shining armor or whatever. So he said it was rocking for about 5 years. They graduated college, they settled down, and everything was good. Now, here's the problem. Now, they settled in her old hometown or whatever. And he said everything was good. They both was working. They had a kid together, whatever. And she said, well, he basically said her ex came into town. Not the guy that he punked out, but the guy that took her virginity when they was teenagers, right? So he ended up working she was working at a group home, right? So I guess she was like a director at this group home, and dude came there and got a position as a groundskeeper and somebody that like keeps a handyman basically. So long story short, they end up rekindling, and she started a affair with the guy that she lost her virginity to. Now, he said he was working so much because he became like the sports director at this high school or whatever. And he said he was just consumed with his life, so he didn't notice the cheating or whatever until one time. He said that they end up, they haven't been intimate for like 2 weeks, right? And she'll be making excuses like, oh, I don't want to, I'm on my cycle, or I'm just too tired, I'm just too busy. But he said prior to that, they used to get it on all the time. So he said finally, she got in the shower or whatever, he seen that she didn't have no pad on, and she had no pad. So he's like, why would she lop up in on her menstrual cycle or whatever? So he said he just got in the shower with her. And, he was like, yo, I want some, basically. And so they got the hug and the kiss, and then they end up, doing what grown folks do, right? But he said when he got in it, it was different. Yeah. He said that it was, how can I put this without being too descriptive? He said that it was basically blown out. He said usually when he get in it, it be tight. She'd be gasping and whatever, but he said he just fell off in it, and he like, oh, no, man, something ain't right here. So he said, he was like, hey, man, what's up? Like, you cheat on me? And she's like, no, why would you say that? He's like, man, no, I'm not stupid, man, no, what you... So he said he got out the shower, and he telling her like, man, no, let me see your phone, man, because he said he didn't suspect nothing at this point at all. So he said he got her phone. He going through it, and he like, who is this right here? And it was the guy. Then she was like, no, just one of my workers. And then he just called the phone, and when he heard the voice and he talking to him, he like, hold on, is this the guy that you lost your virginity to? She was like, yeah, but it ain't nothing. He like, hey, man, hold on. So, then they got him and the guy was arguing. They got the phone. He said, hold on. So you've been cheating on me with the guy you lost your virginity. Like, when did this start? So she just started crying. And, well, it wasn't like, I didn't know that I had these feelings for him. And I just messed up. And he like, listen, man, we are a family. We are family. I married you, and we graduated college. We got our daughter. We got our careers. And this is what you gonna throw this away for this guy? And she like, I'm sorry. I just had a weak. He like, what you mean you had a weak moment? What did I do? What did I do? What do you mean you had a weak moment? What happened? And she was like, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. So he like, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'm good. She like, what, you gonna divorce me? He said, no, I'm not gonna divorce you because I love you, and I know you made a mistake. But how many times did y'all do it? She was like, just once. He said, come on, man, don't lie to me. Tell me the truth, or we are getting divorced. Okay, we did it like 10 times. So he was like, you know what? Never mind. Never mind. I need to leave. I need to go clear my head. So he said he leave. And he said he just driving around, and he like, man, forget this, man. I'm finna go to the strip club. I need to be around some women. I need to clear my head. So he said he pull up to the strip club, and he go in there, get him a couple of drinks. And he said he see this chick, and she wasn't even all that to him, but he just told like, hey, how much is it, for us to mess around or whatever. She told him the price. They went outside to his car, and they did what they did, right? So he said it didn't make him feel better at all. He said, in fact, it just made him feel more worse. So he said, you know what? This ain't me. This ain't me. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know if I can forgive this woman. I'm just going to go home and just go to bed, man. Forget it. So he stopped at the liquor store, get him a fifth of Henny. He drinking, he driving, he pull up to the house. She like, are you okay? He just walked past her. He get in the bed. He go to sleep. So he said for about a whole week, she was basically just saying, I'm sorry. I love you. Cooking breakfast for him. Just keep reassuring that she'll never do this again. And she let dude go. She fired him and all this and that. Right. Cool. So he like, man, he really giving her the cold shoulder because he was really hurt behind us, because he like, yo, what did I do? I didn't even do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So he said when he was out, it was this chick that he seen. And, he was at the grocery store. He looking at her, and she caught his eye. And I guess she looked at him. I guess they was playing eye tag in the grocery store or whatever. So I guess he walked up on like, is you following me? And she was like, no, I'm not following you. Is you following me? And he was like, I might be. And I guess they started laughing and joking. And from there, they exchanged numbers, right? So he said maybe like 2 weeks, they were just talking on the phone, texting, and he wasn't even studying his wife. His wife was like, who was that on the phone? He was like, nobody important, nobody you need to know. So he said, like, she'd be like, man, so is you talking to another woman? He's like, if I was, I ain't effing them. I ain't effing them like you did. So, you know, she was like, all right, man, whatever. And then she'd keep kissing his butt and, you know, that jazz. So he say one day the girl didn't know that he was married, though. She didn't know that. So one day the wife say, okay, listen, I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to go move in with my sister. I'm going to take our daughter, and I'm just going to give you some time to clear your head. And he like, all right, bye, whatever. So she said, I'm going to leave for about 3 or 4 days. So he said, okay, whatever. Kissed his daughter. The mama, them left, right? After 3 days, she was like, you know, I'm just going to stay here for 2 weeks, you know, to get my mind clear and stuff. And he was like, all right, whatever. So now it's in his head that, you know, the wife gonna be gone for 2 weeks. So old girl called him like, hey, I want to see you or whatever. He like, matter of fact, yeah, come on, this is my address. Come on through, right? Come on through. So she come over, they have a nice dinner. He said they had like steak, asparagus with butter and macaroni and cheese, and some red wine, maybe some Stella rolls, right? So he said, you know, they sitting there and they chilling, they talking. So they end up, you know, moving the conversation from the dining room to the couch. And, you know, he said they sitting there, they watch TV, and, you know, they looking in each other's eyes. And, you know, first they got the touching and kissing, and, well, that led into something else. And they end up doing it right there on the couch, right? So he said, like, yo, he woke up and she was standing in front of, you know, I guess he had like this fireplace and his pictures on there, and she was standing there. She was like, this your wife? And he was like, yeah, that's my wife. She was like, why you didn't tell me you was married? And he was like, we going through something right now. She like, I know this woman. And he was like, what you mean you know this woman? She like, I know this woman. And he was like, what you mean? And she was like, this woman right here is my husband's first love. And he said, what? She said, yeah, this woman right here is, she was cheating. Yeah, yeah, my husband. Yeah. He like, wait, hold on. You married too? She said, yeah, I am married. And he was like, hold on. Who is your husband? And she told him, and he said, yo, my wife was cheating on, that's why me and her we into it. So she said, what? Yeah, your husband is my wife's first love. They messed around. That's why me and her got into it. And it's crazy that me and you together now. So I'm like, for real? He said, yeah, that's crazy, right? This is we live in a crazy world. I said, okay. So they like, okay, yo, this is weird. So he said, like, hey, I'm just gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna leave it alone, right? He said, I'm not really with this revenge stuff, because now she thinking like, yo, so you knew this all this time? He like, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that y'all knew each other. So she thinking this is like some revenge type thing, like sleeping with her to get at him type thing, right? So she said, no, this ain't cool. I'm not comfortable with this and all this. So she leaves, right? He said about 3 hours went by. 3 hours went by. He said that he get a bang at the door. It's got to be like 3 o'clock in the morning at this time. He get a bang at the door. Boom, 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 boom. Right? It's dude. Right? It's his wife, first love. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, bruh, you F my wife? You F my wife, bruh? He said he ain't waste no time. He said he snatched that door open and they got the brawling. He said he put all hands and feet on this man. He said he beat the living dog crap out of him. Right? He said as he's beating this man, beating him. Now keep in mind, though, his wife, right? The dude that I'm locked up with, his wife that went to stay with mama is only 40 minutes away. So dude called her and told her, like, yeah, your husband slept with my wife. He need to get to this house. So his wifey is already on the way to the house. And she sees her first love getting whooped out by her husband. And she get over there, get off of him, stop hitting him. She done called the police and everything. And he snapped out. He said, hold on. I'm your husband. And you taking up for this dude? So he said he grabbed her by her hair, dragged her into the house, went into a drawer. He grabbed that 380. And he said he put 2 on her head. He said the police came. He was sitting on the stoop. Dude was beat to a bloody pulp. He survived. But his wife didn't make it. Now he in here with me. Check this out, y'all. If you not happy in your relationship and you thinking about stepping out, or you done been in a relationship with somebody and it didn't work out and you see that person again, just go back to the day why it didn't work out. Or you might find yourself on the Donta Show Network being the subject of a prison story. With that, y'all, I got another hot one that's going to drop tomorrow at 3:45.
Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my movie and my gaming channel. I'm going to have that link pinned at the top of the comment section. Also, y'all subscribe to Stacy's Storytime. She's tell phenomenal stories just like myself. And if y'all feeling generous, make sure y'all leave me a tip. I'm accepting Cash App, Zelle, and PayPal. Until next time, y'all take care. I'm gone.